Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hold Fast Moto. We got a new setup we're trying today. So we actually got audio to use on the ride, during the ride. So it's not going to be like audio afterwards. So this is going to be different. I don't know what we're doing here, but we're doing it. So hopefully it sounds good. I had to play around with it a couple times and I completely botched it a couple times because I did not know how to do the audio and I guess lower the input to be essentially 1. So all you would hear is just the freaking frequency just cracked out and you couldn't hear a darn thing. So I think now we got it kinked out. I think now we got it worked out enough. So either this is going to be really great when I get back home and edit this, or it's going to be really sad. Hopefully, really good. But today, I just filled up, got a full tank. We're going to go down to Seal Beach. I'm actually going to go get breakfast at a great cafe called Crema Cafe. It's like one of my favorite breakfast spots in Seal Beach. It's delicious. I always get their Seal Beach omelet and it does not disappoint. So I am super stoked on that. Had some coffee this morning, so I'm all ready to go. But I'm also going to stop by this shop called Tank Farm. They make like really cool t-shirts. It's actually like my favorite t-shirts. They have like plain ones that have no logos and they have some that have some logos. But I think they're like a design company or an advertisement company. But they just make super cool stuff. And I really like the way the shirts fit me, so I think we're gonna see if they have flannels, because I have like 1 flannel from them. I like 2 flannels from them, and I always get compliments and they're kind of worn out, so it's like maybe I should have something nice besides just t-shirts in my closet, because I really don't have any button downs besides 2 Hawaiian shirts and a bunch of t-shirts. So I think it'd be good to have some nice shirts, or at least a flannel. It's a button down that makes me look a little bit nicer. So we're gonna pick up one of those and we're gonna do some other Christmas shopping because it is the holidays. So we're gonna get into it today. Da-da-da. Love the times. So I think it just I'm getting on the 57 and 1, 2, 3, we're going. And we're gonna take this to, I believe it's a 22, and then over. So shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So we can get over here. And always, for some reason, this part of the 57 is just trash. I know people are like merging in, but for every time you get on it, it's always like just terrible. And it's so upsetting. It is what it is. So it'll work out eventually. Get in front of this truck. Hop over to the carpool lane. Eventually. There we go. Yeah, this is always just backed up for no reason besides people just merging. Apparently people don't know how to do that. Anywho, welcome back. It's been a minute. Had some things going on that pushed some things back, but we are in motion, or whatever. Just words coming out of my mouth. We're gonna have to work on this talking thing. So yeah, the biggest thing is I got some audio to use for the bike while riding, so that I can actually talk and do audio while I'm riding instead of doing a voiceover when I get back. So I'm hoping that it'll sound good. I got like 1 or 2 tests where it was like decent, so This is like the first real test with pairing it. I'm going to pair it with the audio and the video from the GoPros and hope for the best. So we're a work in progress. So hopefully the audio is good. But since we got like a 26-minute ride down, I was trying to think of things that I wanted to talk about. I'm sure there's going to be videos where it's just going to be me rambling on about random stuff that's interesting or just going on that I'm thinking about. But I was like, you know what, let's talk about why I decided to go the Road Glide Special and why I went with the 2017 instead of a brand new one, and just my thoughts on the bike now that I've had it since I've had it since October, so it's been a couple months. Before we get into that, the bikes I had before were not limited to. I had, my first bike was a 1981 Suzuki GS 750. That thing was like the bike I dreamed probably of having as my first bike, not because it was that specific model, but just for the style and the look of that bike. Like, I loved that bike. It was heavy, it broke down a lot, but I freaking loved it. Once I got a new job and I started working and I got some money, I ended up going and getting a Yamaha XSR 900. And that was like a jump into the future, because I went from a 1981 bike to a 2017 bike. And that was a major jump. The bike was lighter, it was so much more torquey. It was just like, from, I don't know, like a light year jump. So that thing was awesome. Fun to go through the canyon, fun to zip around town, super light. It wasn't great for the freeway though, because it was so light. I was like 430 pounds wet. So on the freeway you get kind of blown around. I did put like a little like windscreen on it and stuff, but it didn't do much. And then I also had a Kawasaki Vulcan 1500. It was a 1999, so an older bike, but that bike was great too. That was my first cruiser. It's actually the same bike that my dad had, so we kind of knew the bike, and it made it easier to kind of get one because we knew how to fix things that would probably go wrong with it. Ran like a champ, and the thing was, I never thought I was ever going to get like a big cruiser. I never was like, you know what, I want a Harley, I want a bagger. No, that wasn't, I just wanted to ride. And my style had always kind of been like cafe racer, like retro, kind of those kind of a bike. And when I got that Vulcan, it really kind of opened my eyes, like, oh wow, this is comfortable. This is really comfortable. And it was really enjoyable. I wasn't like slow or lanky. Like, I was slower obviously than my sport bike, but like, it gets on still. It's still a motorcycle. And you can still dip and dive with it. It doesn't dip and dive as well, but you can still dip and dive with it even if it's a cruiser. So I very much enjoyed it. And that kind of opened my eyes to like, well, shoot, you know what? There's a lot of possibilities that can come from this. So once I did that and got used to that bike, it was like, oh, cool, I can make this work actually. Getting over, always get sidetracked. I don't have to get on the 22 West because I gotta get all the way over. Anyways, turn the blinker off. And I was just kind of surprised because I didn't expect it. I just kind of thought it was like, all right, we're gonna be like slow and lunky and it wouldn't be as fun. But guess what? At the end of the day, two wheels is two wheels. So if it's got a motor and two wheels, it's gonna be fun. It don't matter if it's a 50cc little thing to mess around on or if it's a huge bike. They're both gonna be fun, just for different things. So that was the first time I kind of got introduced to like a cruiser style and was like, oh, okay, I can kind of get behind this. And then I think the biggest thing too is that my riding preference was kind of evolving. I was doing a lot of like around town stuff where you don't need a big bike or you don't need a lot of storage. Like I'd always have a backpack on me. I still always have a backpack on me. That's just how I go. But then I was looking at doing a little bit more long distance and wanted to do some road trips and like some overnight trips. I wanted something that was a little bit more comfortable for those like longer trips, because on a smaller bike it's just not as comfortable for a long period of time. Like anything over 45 minutes, your ass is hurting. And it was just like, you know what, I kind of want something a little bit more comfortable for these longer trips that I want to do. And like, that's kind of the mindset I had towards it. So that was making me lean towards like a cruiser. It wasn't specifically a Harley or anything like that. And that was kind of the leading changes that were getting me to there. And I was also doing some 2-up riding. So whenever I had a passenger, I could take them, and it was comfortable for them and comfortable for me. I wasn't like having someone hunched over on my back pushing me forward on trying to steer and stuff. Like it was just much more enjoyable. Plus you got the back seat with the headrest, you can put more stuff on the back than you can a sport bike. So just all those things were in my mind of like getting me towards the cruiser, and that led me to the cruiser. Now the reasons I went with this bike, especially like the 3 distinctions, like you have from Harley, you have your touring bikes, which is your Road King, your Street Glide, and your Road Glide. They're all the same bike. The only thing different about those bikes is the fairing, or lack of. Your Road King doesn't have a fairing. It's got a windscreen, but no fairing. Street Glide, I think it's a fixed or mounted, I can't remember what the name of it would be technically, but when you move the handlebars, the fairing moves with the handlebars. And the Road Glide, which is what this is, it's mounted to the frame, so your handlebars move independently and your frame stays forward. That's the difference between those 3 touring bikes. Otherwise, the exact same bike. I'd wanted a Street Glide originally, but when I got on the Road Glide and actually rode it, I liked it better. I felt like I had more room. I wasn't as cramped. There's a little bit more storage in here too as well on the side compartments. Not much, but a little bit. And I honestly grew to like the look. At first I didn't like the fairing look, the sharp nose. It kind of just grew on me and I just wanted one. So that's why I went with this. I also went with the 2017 model, mainly because it's a lot less expensive. But also, like, I was having a hard time for me to justify buying like a brand new bike that was going to be like 2 to 3 times worth my truck. One day I'm going to do that. When I have the money to just like walk in and like, yeah, that one. I'm going to take that one. But until then, I just wanted to be on 2 wheels, because I sold my Kawasaki Vulcan and my Yamaha XR to save up to get the bike. So I was without a bike for a couple months, and it was terrible. Like, I knew I just needed to be back on 2 wheels. Like, I was just kind of moody. I was just not my normal self, because being on a bike, man, that's freedom. That's just like the thing that I enjoy doing. It's like, it's just the biggest release for me. And it's just so fun. Like, it's so much fun. If you don't ride, I recommend you get on a bike and try. It's just the greatest thing ever. Anyways, so one for me, 2017 had this color, which is a superior blue, and I love this color. I wanted something with color because that's like my fit, my personality. Nothing against just plain black Harley Davidsons, but I wanted something that was a little bit more me and my style, and that's why I wanted to get this one. Also, the 2017, this thing was like mint condition. The paint was clean. Whoever had it before took good care of it. They had all the service records. Only had like 14,000 miles, which is nothing for a bike like this. So it made it easier, especially with it being more in my price range, to go after this one. I think the only other two bikes that I really wanted color-wise and color scheme, which I was going to wait for unless I didn't get this one and saved up longer, was the orange 2021 that's a Road Glide special with like gray or the black like streak. That is a gorgeous bike. And then in 2021, the billiard teal, gorgeous, blacked out. Those bikes were like my two, like, So, but I loved this one when I saw it. It was just clean. It's kind of like a blank canvas of all the things that I wanted to do to it. Eventually, kind of like tailor the bike to you. It's kind of like buying a suit. Like, you can buy a nice suit, but it really becomes better and more profound when you get to tailor that to you. And that's what everyone does to their bikes. Change the handlebars, the seat, foot boards, foot controls, suspension, whatever it may be, they change it. Because you got to tailor your stuff to you and your dream and what you vision for the thing. So, and I'll take you along that journey with me when I do all my good stuff. But one thing at a time, I'm just enjoying the ride. It's a big engine. It's a 107 cubic inch, which roughly translates to, let's see, I think it's 1748 cc's or something like that. So it's got juice. It also can get on it too. It's not a slowpoke, but it's built for highway. It's built for riding like this. It's built for road trips. Like, that's what the bike is designed to do, and that's what it's good at. So for me, wanting to do long trips and overnight trips and need to pack more stuff, this fit the bill. There's lots of things that I want to do to it. Obviously, everyone wants to change their bike and make it their own. That'll all come in time. But yeah, for how big this bike is, it feels smaller when you sit on it. At least that was my impression. It looks big when you're like standing next to it. And then you get on it and you sit on it and you ride it and it's like, this doesn't feel too bad. At low speeds, it does feel heavy. But you get used to like handling it. But it flows, it glides, road glide, smoothly. So, just like any bike, it's smooth when you get into it. So, it handles really well. But it is a bigger bike. I wouldn't necessarily recommend someone starting out with this as their first bike, because this thing is pretty massive.
Ooh, let's get this up.
Whew. Something a little bit lighter. I think that if you're starting out, like a 650 or 750 bike, if it's not like a sport bike, is a good area to start on, because then you can really learn. You don't get like, you don't outgrow it so quickly. Another reason I wanted to get a touring Harley was a couple other things. One, it's got cruise control. Fantastic. I never thought I would want that until I took a long trip. It's a game changer. Don't sleep on it. Also, it's got the hard bags that lock, which is nice. Just makes it easier to keep your stuff safe. It's got speakers. I don't really use them as much because I got Bluetooth in my helmet. But when I use my helmet that doesn't have the Bluetooth in it, it's nice. Also, it's got navigation, which is cool if my phone were to die. I'm not really worried about my phone ever dying because this thing also has a charger. It's part of the good thing about having a big touring bike is it's built for a long trek, so they know you're going to need a charger. What else? The fairing does a pretty good job blowing the wind off. It came with a Clockworks windshield on it already, so that immediately gives you just more wind protection. And I love Clockworks. Is just a great brand. They make really good quality stuff. If you're gonna get a windscreen for a big bike, Clockworks makes one. I recommend it. This is a pretty fun corner, honestly. Hopefully they get up to speed because I want to go through it at a good pace. And it's all right pace. Probably slow it down a little bit. Now, I got big dreams for this bike. To tailor it and make it my custom bike. I think I always have an idea. I mean, everyone has an idea of what they want their bike to look like. They have that picture in their head of like, that's going to be what it looks like one day. And that dream or fantasy, whatever you want to call it, or even we're going to call it a plan because it's not just a dream or a fantasy, we're going to make it happen one day, is the color scheme I'm going to go with this is going to be like blue and black. So adding more black pieces to the bike, but also maybe one day throwing in a little bit of orange. So the blue, black, and orange all together. That's like the main shindig that I'm thinking of for this bike eventually. I've been looking at new handlebars. I've been looking at like the Thrash and Supply ones. It's like the Razor, and they got like a high bar or something like that. Throwing some new foot pegs on here. Want to do like a saddleman seat eventually. We'll stop here. Could have made that. Ooh, slow. I want to throw some new suspension on this. Engine work, I don't think I really need to do a whole lot of engine work. I would think like new air cleaner, new pipes, get it tuned. That's what I think of when I think engine work for this bike. Like later on, maybe if I wanted to do some boring out and stuff, do like a stage 3 or 4, whatever, cool. But for me, like this has got plenty of power, but I'm not gonna say no to more. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to have a bike, be able to ride. Gotta enjoy the little things in life. And this is one of the biggest little things ever. We're down to Still Beach. Here's PCH. For all you people that don't live in California, that's where we're at, in case y'all didn't know. Now it is a Monday, so I'm hoping there might be just people parking outside. Otherwise, I usually park at a CVS over here and just walk down. Because it's on Still Beach Main Street. That's where Crema Cafe is. Or I'll go park in the neighborhoods and walk. It doesn't kill me to walk. It's actually really nice out. It's kind of chilly. I really enjoy that colder weather. The bike feels better when it's a little colder, I think. Not better, but it doesn't heat up as fast. AKA, I don't sweat as much. Oh, little bump. Little bump. Motorcycle. Also, don't you guys love how instantly anyone with a bike is like your best friend? It's like when you're a kid at school and someone's got the same t-shirt as you and you're like, oh, you're cool, I like you. That's exactly how it is having a bike. You guys feel that way, or is that just me? I could be crazy, so. I mean, I am technically talking to myself on a bike, but I do that all the time, so. Ooh, curb? A little bit. Let's see if we can find some parking. Do. So, that's Crema Cafe over there. Right there. Looks like a little bit of a wait. Not too bad. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Yeah, usually I just come over here and find parking and just walk down. Just gonna find a nice big spot. What Monday is it? I have no idea what Monday today is. Second and fourth Monday. Doesn't give me a whole lot to look at.
Ooh.
And there's people there. 9 a.m. to whatever. Third, 25th, 26th, 27th. I should be fine over here. Right? Anybody know what Monday it is? 'Cause I don't. Let's give the big truck a little space. Not my pig, my exhaust. Ugh. Let's see if we can move it up a little bit. Like I said, heavier when you're going slow. Boop. Okay. Alright, let's check to see if it's the fourth or second. Let's look at the calendar. First, second, third Monday, fourth Monday. What did that one say? I think it said fourth, right? Let's find out. Europe. Not in the exhaust, that's good. Second and fourth Monday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, we're Gucci. We're good. Golden. Alright. So that's it. I'm gonna go get food. I don't know. Do you guys want to see videos of food and stuff like that? Or do you guys give a crap? Or do you want to just be on the bike? We'll see that in the comments. But, until next time, thanks for coming through with me. This is Hold Fast Moto, and we will see you on the next video.